Aloha everybody and welcome to part 5 of Sonic Riders. So now we're tackling Babylon Garden. This is the final level in the hero storyline of Sonic Riders, and we have to race against Jet in a very dangerous, very tricky level with lots of bottomless pits. Again, it's very much like the Sky Road level we saw in part 4. This one I actually find a little bit more tricky just because of the fact that we're playing as Sonic, and sometimes hitting the rails can actually be a little bit awkward. There's one particular rail after you ride on this little air jet thing that sometimes I tend to screw up every now and then. And again, missiles are still blowing out the bridges, so every now and then you'll be moving along in first place, then something destroys the platform you were driving on, and then you fall into the bottomless pit, lose all the rings, lose your levels, and your progress is horrible, allowing Jet and the other robots to catch up, which is never fun. This is the rail I sometimes screw up. I find it a little bit tricky sometimes. Sometimes I'll accidentally jump right into the fence itself. Fucking missiles. But sometimes I'll jump into the fence itself and then I'll bounce all the way to the right and it's like a wasted jump, you know? It can be a little bit tricky of a course, I won't lie. Also, Babylon Garden is quite futuristic for some reason. I mean, like, I don't know what these jets are supposed to be. I guess they belong to Babylon Garden. And I know what you're going to say, like, Clement, you've played Zero Gravity. There's a reason for this, apparently. Or a really stupid retcon, which I'm not going to bring up in this game. But in Zero Gravity, let's just say, we learn more about the Babylon Rogues, and it's kind of stupid. Kinda stupid, not gonna lie. I haven't really commented on the soundtrack of Sonic Riders yet. I do think the soundtrack is pretty fantastic. I mean, it's not like, you know, Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic Adventure 1, Sonic Heroes standards of quality. It's not like, oh man, everyone needs to hear this, but there are some pretty funky beats, if I do say so. I really like how Egg Factory sounds. I enjoy the desert levels. There's an extra course I haven't played yet that isn't in story mode. It's going to be a cameo course that I'll be showing in an extra video, but that place has fantastic music as well. And, you know, musically I think this game did pretty well. It doesn't have any, like, awesome Crush 40 themes or anything. It doesn't have any real standout lyrical themes. The Babylon Rogues have a theme, but we'll be hearing that in the end credits. Or at least in an extra video, because I'll probably be talking over the end credits. But I digress! I just wanted to say that the soundtrack is pretty fantastic. One thing I forgot about that people told me about in the comments is that the Air Riders actually, if you push L and R at the same time, they can do this little tornado attack so that anyone who's behind you gets swept up in it and they get damaged, but it also destroys, it actually gets rid of some of your air and it makes you slow down a little, I found. And generally I just wanted to outrun them, I didn't want to stun them, so I never really used it. I actually forgot it existed, so you know. That's the final race of the hero storyline!
Even without wings, I can still fly!
Boo!
Right?
Boo!
Where are you, Eggman?
Look before you move!
Darn!
Now then, just be a good hedgehog and stay still!
Now! Can you catch the wind?
What? Where are you?
I'm here! Hey, catch! What? I lost! So don't play games with me! I don't want your pity, nor do I need it!
Are you crazy? If they don't want it, then let's take it. Treasure is treasure.
I think it's time to leave now. Tails?
Yeah. Sonic!
Amy?
How could you dive into Eggman knowing I was there?
Well, Amy, I thought it'd be okay with you, and,
Sonic! Come back here! Ah! Sonic, I won't forgive you this time! Ah!
And so yeah, the credits would roll here, and this is the end of the hero storyline, but the Babylon Rogue storyline goes on for another race.
I lost! So don't play games with me! I don't want your pity, nor do I need it!
Are you crazy? If they don't want it, then let's take it. Treasure is treasure. Come on, let's get out of here.
Okay, let's go! What? Finally, something interesting.
Look, Sonic, the door's closing!
Hurry up!
Those who seek treasure will find only.
Whoa, what's this?
This Sonic is the final race in the game. It happens at the end of the Babylon Rogue storyline, and even though it happens at the end of that, we're playing as Sonic for the big final confrontation, because Sonic the Hedgehog is the hero after all. This is kind of an unorthodox race. I mean, it's not really a race, kind of. It is, but it isn't. We have to be in first place in order to reach the genie, the monster that we're chasing. All the other racers are also following him and chasing him as well, but we have to be in first place so that we can dash into the pot that the genie is coming out of. We dash into the pot, and everything goes all crazy cyber trippy on us, and the scenery transforms into some kind of robot hologram simulation thing, right? And then when you cross the finish line, it will finally count as lap 2. If you do not hit the pot of the genie and you cross the lap line, it'll still be lap 1, and it'll just keep looping and looping and looping until you hit the genie. So you have to hit him 3 times. You have to be in first place in order to reach the pot, and generally, because you're Sonic, there is this one little grind rail that you want to take advantage of, because again, in order to boost, you need to grind and you need to get air. So the more air you have, the easier it is to boost and whatnot. So, you know, take advantage of that rail, make sure you do awesome tricks so that you have lots of air to boost with. See, I crossed the lap, it's still lap 2, because I didn't destroy the pot in time. But I have destroyed the pot this lap, so when I cross it, it will be lap 3. Yeah. I guess the idea is that we're not actually fighting a real genie, we're fighting some kind of hologram robot simulation thing that the Babylonians made. I guess that's the implication, but either way, this level can be a little bit tricky if you really aren't skilled at Sonic Riders and you just sort of lucked your way to this level, you know? Like, if you beat all the races out of sheer luck and you didn't know anything about how to do cool jumps off ramps for shortcuts and whatnot, and you're not really good at the whole boosting thing, this part can actually be kind of a little bit tricky, I won't lie. But again, you want to do tricks when you get off ramps, you need air to boost. You absolutely need air. I don't think there are any rings in this level, at least not that I found during my races, and so you can't make your air meter go up that much higher. So you really have to conserve as much energy as you can and boost whenever you can, and yeah. Still, you know, it's weird. Sonic Riders gave you a final boss. They gave you a final boss that you had to fight that doesn't actually count as racing it. You're not really racing it, you're damaging it. And by damaging it, that counts as, you know, making a lap, which is pretty unique, pretty interesting. In free race mode in the main menu, you can replay this mission whenever you want with any character that you want. That's why there are air rings and certain statues that power types can break. That way, you know, if you're playing this as Eggman, if you're playing this as Rouge the Bat, you can still beat this boss. You know, you don't have to be a speed type in order to successfully defeat the genie. So you can play this in free race mode, you know. It counts as its own single track. There's also another racetrack outside of story mode, which borrows this whole demon cyberspace weird, you know, hologram universe, and I'll be showing that racetrack off in an extra video. It's not actually in story mode, but yeah. I'm having trouble killing this guy, holy Christ. This is what I'm talking about. You know, he seems to get faster and he shoots projectiles the more hurt he is, and I just have some real tricky trouble catching up to this guy for whatever reason. It's like his health bar is taunting me. 1 heart to go. You hit the genie one more time and he's dead. Well, I can't reach him. Maybe if Sonic would get off his board and actually run towards the thing. I mean, he's the fastest thing alive. He could outrun the air boards. Jet himself said it. He's the fastest thing on the ground. But in the air with extreme gear, you're nothing. You're just a joke. This is my Jet the Hawk impression. It's the best Jet the Hawk impression there's ever been. I'm Jet the Hawk. It's a living. But, yeah, again, the first 2 laps went by pretty quickly. I'm having way too much trouble with this. Sometimes I can beat this genie a lot faster. Finally, I hit him. So as long as I cross the finish line, I will be good. I'm not sure if crossing the finish line in, like, 8th place after the final hit counts as a loss. It does in free race. You still count as being in, like, 8th place, so I don't know. But that was the final boss, ladies and gentlemen. Tune in for part 6 for the thrilling conclusion to Sonic Riders.